his children allegedly in the state. Is it true that whips have taken over Ali's house at Ekpoma? And last question here is how many houses is Ambrose Alli own in Nigeria?
Okay, that's four questions, but let me answer them one at a time. Where is my mother? My mother lives in the United Kingdom. In fact, she turned 70 a few weeks ago. She is well, we thank God. The second part of your question is what are her full names? Her full names she is Mrs. Rosemary Joy Alli. Um, why did his children abandon his legacy in the old Bendel State? I don't agree that we abandoned his legacy. I think you need to understand that we were exiled from Nigeria. It is very hard uh, for you to stay in a country that where your husband or your father is incarcerated and all his property is incarcerated for very little reason. All his property is seized, and you are harassed by the security services. If you have options, you will exercise those options. And if you're, my mother stayed in Ekpoma for 2 years while my father was in jail. We children were fortunate enough to come to the UK because we have an English grandmother, and go continue to go to school. That was our good fortune. Um, but to say that we abandoned his legacy, I think his legacy is slightly beyond sitting down. Is whether I stay in Nigeria or I don't stay in Nigeria, my father's legacy is still there. If you ask me what his legacy is, that's a different thing. But no, I disagree that we abandoned his legacy. I told you my brother and my sister live in Nigeria. My brother has lived in Nigeria in the last 15 years. He has lived there for over 10 years. He works in finance. He has a very responsible and what's the word? A senior position in the world of Nigerian finance. And so to say that we abandoned his legacy is a little bit unfair. Um, as for the house in Ekpoma, are there weeds growing in the house in Ekpoma? No, not anymore. But you need to understand that it's also a rather large compound. So rather than which I must say is our ancestral land. So that was land that was inherited from our great grandfather, our grandfather, who have all held the titles of Ezomo of Ekpoma. So as to whether we abandoned his legacy, I reject that. I don't think that's true at all. I think that our father's legacy is wider than that. But I also think that uh, without taking a step in our shoes and going through our experiences, you have no idea what we have been through or what we consider to be our father's legacy. So I reject that part of the question.
Okay.
Um, how many houses did my dad own in Nigeria? My dad owned a house, his house in Ekpoma, and he owned a bungalow in Ubo, right next to Univac. That's it.
Okay, good.
My dad had, other property which was seized by the military, or well,
Okay.
which was seized. Whether by the military or yeah, well, yeah, it was seized by the military. Let's call a spade a spade.